Hello guys! In this video I'm going to teach you the four most important scales that you need to learn if you want to get better improvising guitar solos. We're going to talk about the most important scales, four specific scales, okay? And then I'm also going to teach you how to practice it at home. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about application and how you would use it in the context of a guitar solo improvisation. Now this video comes with some free charts, so please download it and print out the charts and stick it on your wall and keep working at it until you have memorized everything. I really hope those charts are going to help you. You can download it using the link below. It's a free PDF. Just tell me where to send it. So the first scale that you want to learn and memorize is called the Pentatonic Scale. Now, I like to memorize the Pentatonic Scale and teach it in A minor key, okay? Because it's position number one is just very easy to remember. And so the first note of the Pentatonic Scale starts with an A minor, okay? So we look for our A's on our guitar, okay? And we start with position number one, and it looks like this. Okay, and then once we've memorized that, we go to position number two, and number three, 4, 5, and then back to 1. So you memorize those positions. That's your first step in practicing the pentatonic, okay? And then the next step is playing it from the root, okay? This is really important because if you don't know where your root note is in your pentatonic scale, you're gonna really struggle to follow along when the key changes. Okay, so let's say now we're in A, and we know where position number one is, right? Because we know where our A is, and we know that the first note is. But what if we're trying to jump to position number 4? Are we going to just get lost? Okay, so if we know where our root note is in this situation, this is an A here, and I know that tied to position number 4. Okay, and I can just go for it. Okay, because I know that this position number 4 is tied to this root note A, and so. In my free charts, you'll see that I've clearly indicated where the major root is, and as well as your minor root. So make sure you keep an eye on those root notes and memorize at least one. Choose one, okay? In this situation, we're learning the minor pentatonic, okay? And I'm teaching you how to memorize it based on the minor pentatonic. So just memorize where your A is, okay? Memorize where your root note is, which is your A, in the pentatonic scale, okay? So your first step will be practicing one position at a time, okay? And then your next practice, which I'm giving you right now, is practicing your pentatonic based on root. So you're gonna start on a root like this. Go back to your root, okay? You're done. And then your next one for position number 2, you're gonna start on your root, which is the A here, okay? Okay, and then you stop on your root, okay? And then position number 3, you're gonna start from this A here. Okay, and then this A here is also tied to position number 4, so you go like this. Okay, and then you go to your next A, which is here. And this is the same A as here, just an octave up, okay? And we're gonna play position number 5. Okay, and number 1. Okay. So that's your second exercise. Okay, so your first exercise is memorizing it based on its shapes. Okay, and you just keep going down the neck. And the next one, you are starting from your root position. Okay, this is really key. That way, when you're changing keys, you know where your root notes are, and you know which pentatonic scale you can use based on where the root notes are. Okay. A very simple example would be, for example, like now that I know that this A is tied to position number 1 and 5, okay? Okay, and this root note here on my A string is tied to position number 4 and 3. Okay, so when I change keys, let's say I'm changing to E minor, Okay, I just gotta look out for my E's on my E and my A string. So in this situation, this is E minor key. Okay, this is the key, and I will go like, okay, because I know position number 1 is there, and then 5. So 5 and 1 are stuck together on that root note. Okay, so that's how I play, and then I'll find the next E, which is here. Okay, and I know position number 4 and number 3 is tied together, so I'll go like. Okay, knowing that these two pentatonic scales tied to it, and then from there, you know, like I said, you can shift from one pentatonic to another. So let's say you memorized where position number 5 and 1 is, and 3 and 4, and you don't want to memorize that one extra one, that position number 2, which is here. Okay, based on this root note, I would highly recommend memorizing that shape and tying that root note to the D string. Okay, but you can also just kind of slide from position number 1 to number 2 like this. And then that's it, you're in position number 2. See? So that's what I recommend. Make sure you practice your pentatonic scales based on your root note and where your root note is, and start from your root note. That's really key. Next, we'll talk about the blues scale. Okay, now that you have your pentatonics memorized, and I hope that you have downloaded the chart. If you haven't downloaded my free PDF, please do download it using the link below. Those charts, I made it myself, and I made it really clear where your root notes are. Okay, so it'd be very easy for you to memorize and also visualize your root notes. And do print it out and stick it on your wall. It's what I did when I was learning scales. Do keep looking at it every single day, and the goal is to get those patterns into your head as you practice. Okay, so the next scale I want to talk about is the blues scale. Now, the blues scale is very close to the pentatonic. Okay, the only difference is that we're adding just one note. It's called the flat 5. Okay, this is your pentatonic. Okay, we're adding just that one extra note. Just one extra note. So you just gotta make sure you use your pentatonic as your blueprint, and then you add the blues note into it, and make sure you visualize it that way. Okay, this is gonna apply for all the skills that I'm gonna be teaching you in this video. Make sure you use your pentatonic as your blueprint, and then you can add notes to the pentatonic or remove notes. Okay, and that's kind of like how you visualize it and how you memorize it. Okay, that way when you're soloing, you'll never get lost. Okay, so let's start with position number 1. It sounds like this. Okay, and then position number 2. Now I like to go kind of like in an S shape. Okay, yeah, you can do just like this. And then position number 2. There's nothing wrong with that, but I like going in an S shape because there's a sense of continuity there. So I'll go like this. Okay, and then that's how I practice it. And when you're practicing your pentatonic, you can do the same thing as well. You can just go. Okay, you can practice it kind of like in an S shape, and that kind of helps you develop fluidity and continuity in your playing. Okay, so that's the blues scale. The next scale I want to talk about is called the diatonic scale. Now, this is also known as the major scale. The reason why it's called the diatonic is because pentatonic is 5 notes. Diatonic is basically 7 notes. Okay, so this is 7 notes of the major scale, and the pentatonic is basically 5 notes of the major scale. Okay, so it's from the same family. Okay, and when it comes to major scales, if you start from a C and you go to a C, that's considered a major scale. But if I start from an E and then go to the C, that's not technically a major scale, right? So So that's kind of like why we call it diatonic, okay? It just means, hey, it's the same bunch of notes, you're just starting from a different place every time, and you might even end, you know, at a different place, okay? So, so I'll start with position number 1, okay? And you know, we have this position number 1, right? Okay, and so we're gonna play, I'm sure this will sound very familiar to you. All right, that's your C major scale, but we're gonna keep going, okay? And so we're gonna start from the A, which means we are playing a minor scale, okay? Okay. And the goal here is that we're going to play that through the pentatonic scale and back, okay, starting from the A. So it's really key that you memorize what your minor scale sounds like. Okay. It's really key that you get that memorized, just as you have your major scale memorized. Okay, that sound, right? So minor scale is equally as important. Okay, make sure you have that memorized in your head. That way, when you're going through the scale and you play it wrongly, you know, right? Okay, so we'll start from the A. Okay, we're gonna go through position number 1, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, now we're gonna go to position number 2, and here's what we're gonna do. Because we talked about how important your root note is, right? Starting from the root note. So we're going to start from position number 2, but the root note. So we're going to like this. Okay, that's your pentatonic scale. Now we're going to play our diatonic, which is, you know, minor scale. Okay, so we're going to end on the root, okay? And we go to the next root. We're going to go a pentatonic scale. Okay, now we're going to play our diatonic. Okay, and then next shape, going to number 4. Okay, and diatonic. Okay, we stop on the root again, and then we go to the next one, which is position number 5 from the root again. Okay, and then diatonic. Okay, and then you're back to 1 again. Okay, so once you have that, basically what you have now is a visual of the pentatonic scale, okay? And then you have that one extra note, right, that you're inserting to the pentatonic scale, and it gives you your blues scale. And then you're adding 2 notes, right, creating the diatonic scale through the same visualizing the pentatonic scale and how and where you are adding those notes, right, in the pentatonic scale, okay? And then you have your diatonic scale, okay? That is also called your major/minor scale, okay? And now the most difficult and most challenging, okay, is what I call the modes, right? And so modal scales are basically the same notes as your major and your minor scale. It's the same diatonic notes. The only difference is that we are starting from, instead of using pentatonic positions to find our scale, like for example like this, right? And then we go like, okay, and then we're in position number 2, right? Okay. Right, and so we're starting from the A, but then we didn't play the B, right? We just start from this note, which is just C, right? So we skip the B. When it comes to modal scales, we don't skip those notes. So we start from, you know, in this situation, we're going to start from an F, okay? And then when you start from an F, okay, there's a name for it. So if you start from an F and you play the same notes in the C major scale, it's called Lydian, okay? And this is what it sounds like. Okay, so we start from the F, and this is called Lydian. So Lydian is kind of like the 4th degree of the C major scale, okay? C, D, E, F, okay? And so there's a name for every single scale degree, okay? And so if you start on a C, it's called Ionian, which is called also the major scale. And then if you start from your D, it's called Dorian. And then the third one is called Phrygian, okay? And then Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and then you have Ionian, okay? So you have 7. So we're gonna call this modal scales. We're gonna call it modal shapes, okay? And what's gonna happen is we're gonna start from the F. So but the idea is that we're gonna start from the F, and then we're gonna go to the G, and we're gonna go to A, and then B, C, D, and until we covered the whole neck, okay? So seven notes, 7 modal shapes, okay? So we'll start from the F, okay? This is what it sounds like. Okay, so that's your Lydian scale. And then the next one you memorize is called Mixolydian, which is the fifth degree of the C major scale. So it goes like. Okay, and then here's your minor scale, okay, with your Aeolian, okay. Now we are on the A right now, okay, so this is A minor. Okay, and well, after the Locrian, after Aeolian is Locrian, okay, and then you have the sound. Okay, and then back to your major scale, which is your C here. Okay, and then you have your Dorian, okay, which is 2nd degree. Okay, Dorian, and then now you have your Phrygian. Okay, Phrygian, and then well, you're back to Lydian again with this F here, which is the same as here. So back to Lydian again. Okay, and then you're back to here again, which is the same here. Okay, you mix the Lydian. Okay, and then Aeolian. So the idea behind all these modal shapes is that as you're soloing in a particular key, in the situation you're soloing in A minor, let's say I go like. See, I have access to that scale, that modal pattern, okay, that I know that goes, through position number 1. So it's really important to also remember where the modal scales sit in relation to the pentatonic scale. Okay, so in this situation, we have this Mixolydian scale here, which is. Okay, it goes through pentatonic position number 1. So I memorize that as my blueprint, okay? And then when I'm soloing, okay? So that's kind of like how you use it. So I'm talking about application right now. And so there you have it. Those are the most important scales for guitar soloing. Yeah, and so the idea here is that, from here, you're going to mix and match those scales, okay? So let's say we're soloing and we start with the pentatonic, right? Okay, we start with the pentatonic scale and then we can transition to the blues, okay? So. Right? So that already sounds pretty cool, right? So I just played the pentatonic scale and I went to play the blues scale. And then what I can do is. See, and then I jumped into the modal scale, okay? And then you can also use your diatonic, so you can go like. I'm using the diatonic scale that runs through pentatonic position number 1 to solo. So this is like, we're not even doing any kind of bending at this point. Like. We're not even doing any kind of bending or any kind of double stops or anything. Just only playing the scale itself sounds very, very beautiful already. Just pentatonic, blues, diatonic, and then putting your modal shapes in there. It's the creative possibilities are endless. So like, let's say like. I can go to, let's say I go to a modal scale lead in. See, and that's, position number 2, diatonic scale going through position number 2, right? That's just an example, and just me kind of noodling around. And as I'm noodling around, I'm keeping my eyes on where the pentatonic positions are. No, that wasn't perfect. I'm just kind of improvising. But basically visualizing where my pentatonic scales are. In this situation, when I was up here, I could see position number 4. Right, and then I knew that from that position, I have this diatonic scale at my disposal. It sounds very, very musical already, just playing that diatonic scale. And if I see it as a modal shape, right? See, and I join this with another modal shape, minor. Okay, that's the Aeolian shape. So I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. Very simple lesson, really, just me talking about the 4 most important scales that you need to learn. Don't forget to download the chart beneath, okay? Practice those scales, and once again, make sure you know where your root note is on your pentatonic scale, and then you tie the rest of your scales, your blues scale, your diatonic scale, as well as your modal scales. Make sure you tie it to that pentatonic, okay? So that way when you change keys, you just got to make sure you find your pentatonic scales, and then from there you have a ton of vocabulary that you can use to play guitar solos with. I'm gonna continue to make videos and talk about guitar soloing and different topics on how to actually combine different techniques with your scales to sound, more dynamic and more interesting. So do subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again in the next one.